A 21-year-old New York man was arrested after police find fentanyl-laced marijuana in a Norwalk smoke shop. That's right. A New York man faces several charges in Connecticut after authorities uncovered hundreds of illegal marijuana products, including some laced with fentanyl. How come it wasn't all of them, I'm wondering? At a Norwalk smoke shop, in a statement posted to Facebook on Saturday, Norwalk police said state and local officials executed a search and seizure warrant at Zaza Smoke Shop on Connecticut Avenue on Friday as part of an ongoing investigation into smoke shops who sell cannabis without a cannabis license. The search yielded more than 3 pounds of pure marijuana and THC gummies, according to authorities, and many of the marijuana products seized from the Norwalk shop later tested positive for fentanyl, police said. Authorities said they also seized several hundred products with THC concentrations too high to sell legally without a license from the Department of Consumer Protection. Among these products were gummies containing 50 times the legal limit of THC. Much of the marijuana seized was also packaged with misleading labels, police said, and a 21-year-old New York man was arrested in connection with the smoke shop search. He was held on $15,000 bond and is scheduled to be arraigned on several drug-related charges later this month, you guys. Now, I'm still confused as to how you lace cannabis with fentanyl. I'm very confused by this, and I'm hoping someone can explain this. But I think this we have seen out of the Connecticut Police Department that they have claimed this before and had to retract their statements. And I ultimately wonder if they will retract this statement again. But I'm very skeptical of this, and I think they're just trying to gaslight the community. But so who knows? What do you guys think?
Jay, the thing is, like, you're smoking weed, bro, because you're in California, LA specifically. If you look at Twitter or Insta, people are smoking all those white cat turds. They literally look like cat turds that have been on your lawn for like 2 months in the sun. Mm-hmm. And if you're rolling your weed and making cat turds, or even the newer ones, sparkle turds, they add glitter and food coloring.
Yep. I have seen those.
If you're making cat turds or sparkle turds, you obviously already have no care at all for anyone's health, the quality of your product. Super easy to just add some fentanyl at any type of ratio to your little cat turd mixture, and then go to town. If you're selling, 2 years ago outdoor that you bought for $100, you're trying to ruin the weed game and make all the profit in the world. What's to prevent you from adding some fentanyl so people actually feel something from your cat turds that they're smoking?
Mm-hmm. Oh God, it makes my stomach hurt. I mean, I think. First of all, fiscally, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because you're taking something that's probably not worth a lot of fucking money. Like, your cogs are off, but I don't think these people understand what cogs are either. But yeah, I mean, they're spraying with terps, they're spraying all kinds of stuff on there. It unfortunately makes more sense than it should. And I think looking at these new markets, people just don't know any better. And if some rapper or some trapper tells you this is the fire, all of a sudden this is the fire. And it's because we're doing a really poor job at educating our consumer base, because they just don't know what cannabis is. The fact that I see people posting like purple and blue fucking nugs and they're like stoked on it, I thought it was a joke.
Let's please all, Jenny, let's all start calling them sparkle turds. Call them sparkle turds. Maybe people will stop smoking them.
They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop.
Dude, you're smoking those sparkle turds again?
I mean, see, here's the thing.
Man.
Here's the thing, you guys. I don't understand how they're saying some of the marijuana was laced with fentanyl. Because like, if they're selling fentanyl laced marijuana, all of it would be laced with fentanyl. Like that just doesn't make sense. Why, like, some of the packages had it, some of them didn't. I feel like this is very suspect to me, this whole thing.
Well, if they're getting from different places, it could be like, how some of the carts on your shelf might have some kind of chemical in them and some of them are clean. Like, yeah, I think it depends on maybe the supplier and things. But I think that the bigger issue is this 21-year-old guy didn't give a baker's flying fuck about the health of the people that he just wants to get his $20 to $40 off of. And I think that's unfortunate.
I mean, he's just running a smoke shop. He's not in charge of quality control.
It might be his. I think it's his bodega, I think is what they were saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm so confused by this. I still don't buy it. I want to see some more proof. I want to see some COAs showing that there's fentanyl in there or something like that. I cannot just trust law enforcement saying that, oh, they found fentanyl-laced weed. Like they've already blown this whistle 4 or 5 times, and they have retracted on every single one. There's only one story that we've seen that actually was, and that was in regards where there was a fentanyl dealer that was weighing fentanyl on his scale and then weighed weed afterwards. And that was it, but it wasn't stuff that was sold. So I'm just
that's
I'm
the
just
only
not
way that
buying
makes
this.
sense to me is
exactly
that's the only thing that makes sense to me is cross contamination. But like, you know,
I agree with that.
Well, dude, fentanyl too. Like the dosage is so crazy. It's literally a couple of grains of crystal. So you could have contamination if you have it anywhere. Or what you're doing with your weed, your scale, your packaging, your equipment, etc. It would be very easy to get cross contaminated.
I agree with that, and that's why I see that's the only way that it could possibly happen. But I just don't understand the point of it. I'm so confused by this.
Well, the cops lie nonstop to keep their jobs, and you just keep seeing this in this whole completely non-functional drug war. That as the American government and law enforcement agencies, as the most readily available, least pharmacologically altered substances such as pure cannabis flower, opium poppy, etc., then people keep moving more and more to spice and bath salts, and then as those more simpler chemicals get banned as well, then they move to these more complex analogs with less testing, more side effects. And it's so crazy that it's like drug legalization has not led to less drug use. It's led to more drug use. It's created billionaire and near trillionaire drug cartels that are beginning to run entire industries and countries. And why don't we just all grow up a little bit, take a breath, realize we all want to amend and adjust our consciousnesses, that legalizing drugs would actually create harm reduction. And a lot of people say harm reduction, and that's kind of become a buzzword that people just, freak out when they hear it. But if we think about harm reduction, reducing harm be a goal for us. Instead of trying to create a puritanical state wherein we can legislate the behavior of everyone, really think that we should focus on harm reduction, helping each other as mature adults and friendly family members.
I mean, I agree, but John Plantum, Phantom, sorry if I messed your name up, John, but says fentanyl can't be put in a pipe and smoked. You have to use foil and a lighter with a straw and chase the dragon. That is the only way to heat it to get high, he says. And I threw in the chase the dragon part, but
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him on that. I still don't get it. And also, Thomas Cross also threw in the chat, says, I guarantee the marketing team at Cookies could get people to buy a strain labeled sparkling cat turd. That was
Sparkle turds.
That's pretty cute. It's pretty cute.
Oh boy.
Any other final statements, you guys, on any of this?
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Love you guys.
It is the most important day of the week. That's right.